Welcome back to the channel, gamers. I hope you won a locals this week and that you're getting a lot of mileage out of those Snake Eyes decks because we've got a ban list coming up, ladies and gents. So today I'm going to try a little bit of a different form video. We're going to be doing ban list predictions for the summer 2024 ban list, which hopefully we get in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think we're going to get it before then, though, because we've got U.S. Nationals at the end of next week. So I would be very shocked if one were to come before then. But stranger things have happened. So to lay out a few goals for this list, the first one is to follow the trends that Konami has already started to implement. You know, banning Omni negates, floodgates, stuff like that. The next one is to curb the power creep in the game, which power creep is running wild. That is insane. I mean, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh for a very long time, and I just genuinely don't know how decks can get more powerful than they are right now. I really don't. I would love to see that, but also I would not love to see that. So let's curb that power creep. And the last one is to make Yu-Gi-Oh more interactive. And how do we do that? What's the first thing we're going to hit? Well, that's going to be Appalossa Boa the Goddess. This fucker needs to go. It is way too generic. She used to be very hard to make. You know, you had to have 2+ monsters with a link rating of 4. That wasn't the easiest back when she was around, or back when she was released. But nowadays, with Snake Eyes, with the Fiendsmith engine, this, that, and the other. I mean, there's so many decks that can spam the board with linked material. Easy link material. And sometimes, if you stick her on the board in the right matchups, such as like Henpai, she just wins the game. You just win on the spot. She solos some matchups, which I don't think is fair, especially with how accessible she is nowadays. And with the recent reprint, she's definitely on the chopping block, as we saw with Baron and Borreload Savage. So the next one, get this fucker out of there. Why is Hot Red Dragon Archfang King Calamity still able to be a card in the current metagame? Like, why is he allowed? It's one of the most uninteractive cards imaginable because you can't respond to the summon. Sure, it has to be Chainlink 1. But that doesn't matter 9 times out of 10. You have to save very specific cards to stop it. And even when you do stop it, they can go into something like a Cosmic Blazart Dragon, which I don't think is a problem. I think Cosmic Blazart Dragon's a cool card. However, threatening Calamity just to have a walking Solemn Judgment tributes for cost is crazy. It's insane. This fucker needs to go. He's been around for too long. And with the Whitewoods cards, who knows? He may be a bigger problem than he already is. World Sea Dragons Elantis. This thing is crazy. I remember pulling him out of Darkwing Blast and genuinely being frustrated that I did so. He is an amazing card. He facilitates a lot of locks, such as the Marincess lock. But what he mainly does is act as a Link 1 in the Snake Eyes deck to facilitate their OTK with Promethean Princess. It's very prominent. It's one of the main win cons in the Snake Eyes deck. I can't tell you how many times I've been OTK'd through this, and I've seen people OTK'd through this. I really think it's time for him to go. The Link 1 aspect of it is just a little too bonkers, and with how easy it is for snakes to link climb, I think it's definitely a problem card in the current format. I love Beatrice. Listen to me. It hurts me to put her on this list. She was an integral part of me getting my invite this season, but she's just too crazy. And with the inclusion of Fiendsmith in the meta, I really think that it's time for her to go. She's way too generic. There's way too many easily levels, or there's way too many level 6s that are easily spammable to the board, like the Fiendsmith engine, like the Bestials. And the possibilities, once she hits the board, are endless. They really are. You can go full Snake Eyes combo by sending Snake Eyes Ash and then linking her into a Promethean Princess to revive the Snake Eyes Ash. You can send Rollback and the Mayakashi Trap to essentially turn skip your opponent. You can send both Keldo and Medora to have a shuffle 6 from your opponent's graveyard, which is a pretty good interrupt versus some decks. And with the Fiendsmith engine, you can detach Lacrimosa from underneath her to send Angel of Blue Tears. On a new chain, Lacrimosa will trigger to burn, and then on a new chain after that, Angel of Blue Tears will trigger, since effect damage was done, to set any normal trap in your deck. So cards like Dimensional Barrier, DDR, even like Evenly, like stupid cards like that. I mean, any normal trap is now very easily accessible without normal summoning. So, Beatrice, I love you, but it's time to go. The first limited card I have is Snake Eyes Flameburge Dragon, and I really tossed and turned on this one. I would like to ban him, however, I think he's too integral to the Snake Eyes strategy. He is very, very similar to Block Dragon in a lot of ways, and he is very easily accessible, but if we limit him, it does significantly weaken their end board as well as their grind game. A single SP banish, a Mirror Jade banish, evenly if they decide to banish the Flameburge. All of those things take care of the problem. The tough pill is that we can't ban it. We really can't. Snake Eyes, I think, would cease to exist as an engine if we were to. And in a vacuum, he's really not that bad. Yes, the recursion and the recurability with the smaller snakes is definitely a problem, especially with link climbing. However, if Appo and Elantis are banned, I think that's a step in the right direction to inadvertently weakening Flameburge himself. The next limit is going to be Poplar. And I went back and forth on this one as well, but I don't think that we should ban Poplar either. Simply due to the fact because if it's limited, drawing it becomes really, really awkward. You then, like if you draw Poplar, you have to decide, am I going to normal summon it to get a spell, or am I going to search for Snake Eyes Ash to normal Ash, and then what the hell am I going to add to my hand? Because I already have Poplar. Poplar really reminds me of Infernity Archfiend, which was a crazy card back in the day. It has less restrictions, but also at the same time more restrictions. But Archfiend was banned for a very, very long time, and I think it got brought back to 1 here within the past few years, and then now it's at 3. But Poplar really reminds me of Archfiend. I don't think it should be at 3. I know it's only played at 2, but even at 2, there's just so many possibilities. So putting it at 1 is really going to hurt the deck and limit its recursion. Next is one of my favorite cards ever, Sangan Summoning. Let me tell you about this card. I think that this is one of the most un-Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever printed. For one simple reason. It makes it so you can't interact with your opponent. Not only that, but it's not once per turn to activate the card either. So if you place it, someone Cosmics it or Guardian Chimeras it away, something like that, they can just place another one and then activate the effect. So it becomes kind of like a game of chicken, you know? Hey, are you going to pop my card? I might have another one in hand. Ha ha ha. So that's a huge reason why I think putting it to 1 would be good, because if you do remove it from the field, you don't have to worry about them just activating terraforming, searching another one, and then placing it, or just simply placing another one from hand. This card makes the game so easy for the user, and I really mean that. And it hurts to say, I'm not making fun of anyone, but Tenpai this card, once it sticks on the field, feels like an auto win. It really does. And if you want to play uninteractive games, those are out there. You can play Lorcana, you can play Pokemon, you can play Magic, you can play One Piece. I don't think card designs like this have a space in Yu-Gi-Oh! I would love to ban it, I really would, but I think putting it to 1 is a sufficient sacrifice for now. The only semi-limit I have, unless I want to go on a tangent, is Wanted, Seeker of Sinful Spoils, and I don't really have a whole lot for this card, but it definitely will curb the consistency of fire decks in general. It's another hit to Snake Eyes. You'll see the, Wanted effect, banish, shuffle back, original to draw a card. You'll see that less. You'll see full combo snakes less. It's just this kind of a snowball effect from there. It's a very good card. It's very cool. I know that it hasn't had its time in the reprint spotlight yet, so I don't know if this one's going to happen, but I think that it should. Gotcha. Didn't I almost forgot Albion. I'm not gonna lie, so I had to put it at the very end. He should obviously be banned. Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. It doesn't deserve the ban because you can just summon Ido or DD Orthros, stuff like that to your opponent's field. So like banning those individual cards, it's not gonna matter that much. Albion's the problem. It absolutely is. You can't target it. It can't be used as fusion material. The only real out is interacting with the card that Albion intends to summon, or Forbidden Droplet as well. So Albion, he's the last ban on my list. I think that this is a pretty solid list in general. Like I said, I don't think we're going to get one before Nationals, which is a week and a half from now. I'd be pleasantly surprised, but we'll see. Other than that, the next upload is probably going to be the Scrub Night Locals vlog. So yeah, let me know if you liked this. It's a little bit more of a long form essay style video. So if you hated it, for sure let me know. And shout out, I don't have any sponsors. If you want to sponsor me, go ahead, shoot me a message. I would love for Goldfish to sponsor me. I eat you so many times a week, Goldfish. Pause. Anyways, but I wanted to give a shout out to my team, Math Class YGO. Great testing partners, a lot of good players in there. So shout out the boys. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter. I'm starting to post on there more often. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor, dislike, unsub, and leave me a hate comment. Thanks so much. Peace.